new Eagles coach. It will be his third spell with the team. His first spell was between 1995 and 1996, while the second was between 1998 and 2001. During his second stint, he led the team to a second-place finish at the AFCON 2000 after losing to Cameroon on penalties. Now, let's talk about global football, soccer if you like, and the story is that Paris Saint-Germain and Argentine forward Lionel Messi won the Ballon d'Or awarded to the best footballer of the year for a record 7th time. Messi, was 34, helped his country to win the Copa America, his first international honor, and has scored 40 goals in 2021. 28 for Barca, 4 for PSG, and 8 for Argentina. Bayern Munich and Poland striker Robert Lewandowski came second. Chelsea and Italy midfielder Jorginho was third, and Real Madrid's French striker Karim Benzema finished fourth. Now, in the Women's Award, Barca captain Alexia Putellas won the Ballon d'Or for women, awarded to the best female footballer in 2021. Putellas, who's 27, scored as Barca beat Chelsea 4-0 to secure their first Champions League crown. She ended the season as the highest scoring midfielder in Europe with 26 goals in all competitions, and was also named UEFA Women's Player of the Year and Midfielder of the Year. Paris Saint-Germain's Gianluigi Donnarumma in the other award, who helped Italy win Euro 2021 the Yashin Trophy for Best Goalkeeper, while Champions League winners Chelsea were named Club of the Year. Barca midfielder Pedri, who's 19, won the Copa Trophy for the best player aged under 21, with England midfielders and internationals rather Jude Bellingham, Mason Greenwood and Bukayo Saka coming 2nd, 5th and 6th respectively. We'll talk more about these stories in-depthly after this short break, so you stay right here with us and we'll get talking.
We're here live at Nongdo Besikpo Asutan with the great and vibrant young people of the community, celebrating with SpectrumTv for being the first private television station in the Aqua Cross region. So this is what they had to say for all of us at Spectrum Television. You say, congratulations, Spectrum.
My name is Ike Brownson, an indigenous of Akwa Ibom State. It's a wonderful thing that this kind of a thing is coming down to Akwa Ibom, Spectrum Television. I mean, it's a big development in the entertainment industry and in the information industry. So I want to shout a big prop to Spectrum Television and give them a welcome applause in Akwa Ibom State. Spectrum Television.
I'm Mr. Edimo by name from Akwa Ibomite. So I see this TV station, Spectrum Television, coming to Akwa Ibom. I'm happy. At least it's one of the things that we need here in Akwa Ibom. I'm very happy, and I pray to him that he should come and stay and come and stand. The station should come and stand well, so that more things and more education will come out, and employment for youth will also come out. I congratulate the MD and the workers and everybody.
My young man, Gideon Sam. So I'm from here, Nongodo, Ibesikbom. Television channel station I maybe needing me. I found it my young man because I have better song. Some of person like me, you more fan me young see dog stage. Me see dog studio you see QUADRI nam talk show me we young Emma. So in the station I have better me and the find it young my student name nam within the station. Congratulations to Spectrum Television.
My name is Peter Ankero. I'm so happy with Tony Afia because he has been able to prove to Akwa Ibom people and others that without politics, a private man can still exist and show the way to others. He has been able to prove himself as being the first person, the pioneer person that brought a FM station to Akwa Ibom State, and rural in particular. I'm so happy about that. Now television is coming over. Kudos to him. I love him. I like him. I don't know how to express. I don't know how to talk. Tony Afia is #1.
Say, honey Isaiah Bennett, call undiluted honey. I am from Afiansuru Branco in Silibam local government area. I want to congratulate the management and the staff of the Spectrum TV because they do a good thing. If we can still have like this many enough, then the price of maybe advertisement.
Many thanks for staying right here with us. This is Sports Central here on Spectrum TV, and I'm joined by the man Ballon. Okay,
always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure.
All right, so let's get talking. I know you have a lot to say about the Ballon d'Or. I know, I could see it.
The Messi d'Or.
Yeah, oh, Messi d'Or. Yeah. Oh, okay, I heard that. Well, let's begin a conversation this morning from the tennis scene where Novak Djokovic and his participation at next year's AUSSIE Open. We're talking about the Australian Open has been thrown into serious doubt owing to the COVID-19 vaccination, well, should I say restrictions in that particular country. We know Australia are very strict on compliance and vaccination for citizens and better still for tourists. And it's a big event. He's the defending champion of that particular one. His vaccination status is unknown at the moment, and that definitely would affect his participation at the AUSSIE Open. Can you imagine of an AUSSIE Open without defending champion Novak Djokovic?
I think it's likely to happen. It will be what we might get to see very soon, Australian Open without a world number one. It's likely to happen. But I can understand the situation in Australia. Remember a few years back during the period we really had problems with COVID-19, that Australia went to a long lockdown at a time. Yeah. And
even up until, the early part of this year. Just relaxed it a little over, 2 months ago. And
it caused a lot of difficulties for the citizens of that country, Australia. Yeah. So they wouldn't want a similar situation to happen again. I've heard the Premier say that they need players to come up with a vaccination status for us to be sure, or be ready to go into 14 days quarantine, especially when you have the new variant up. And it's a big issue in the world, globally at the moment. It's difficult. But I think also we have to look at the conditions of individuals, their privacy. Just like the world number one had said earlier on, it's a personal thing, whether you get vaccinated or not. But we have to take all the precautions, and I really think we might get to see an Australian Open without the world number one.
But it's a pretty tricky affair, if you ask me, in as much as every individual has got the right to be vaccinated or unvaccinated. We're talking about public health. So this clearly goes beyond Djokovic. It goes beyond Novak Djokovic. Whether or not he vaccinates doesn't just affect him, but of course puts a lot more others, his team, and those that come in contact with him, at the risk of getting the virus, and that's the complexity here.
Well, I'm not a professional in health matters, but I can give a bit of an idea based on information making rounds. A lot of people also have difficulties concerning vaccination. Which vaccine do you go for? What are the outcomes of the situations? The world is still trying to understand COVID-19 to a large extent, and that could be the reason why some people don't want to get vaccinated. And coupled with the fact that you have to get vaccinated repeatedly up to 4 times.
First jab, we're talking second, third, fourth.
And not totally guarantee that you might not be infected by the virus. So these questions are the problems at the moment, making it difficult for a lot of people to take that decision to be vaccinated. But be that as it may, we understand the need for vaccination to protect others, also protect yourself, because if we keep having new variants coming in, it's most likely going to be a problem, and the sporting activities we are calling for might not necessarily take place.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've gone past Delta. We're talking the variants now. Omicron is the latest guy in town. Of course, it's a threat we're talking about globally, and the WHO have come out very strikingly to say that this guy is far more dangerous than the Delta we feared earlier. Now, we'll quickly take a listen to Novak Djokovic. He will still talk about vaccination and a lot more surrounding the issue of vaccinations with regards to playing tennis and a lot more. We're still right here. We're right back.
I'm going to decide on whether I go to Australia or not after I see the official statement from the Tennis Australia. Right now we don't have any official announcement or statement, so until that's out I won't be talking about this anymore, because you know, I don't want to be part of the stories about the assumptions and what ifs. When the official condition requirements to travel to Australia and play in Australia are out, then obviously I'll see what I personally do with that, and also the bigger group of the players, you know, because the situation is obviously different in Australia than most part of the world.
Novak Djokovic talking about the complexity of vaccination and a lot more. Well, he's got 20 Grand Slam titles, and this has got a bit of competition. He's tied with Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. The Aussie Open represents one of the very few chances he would have to get one over his rivals for quite a while. When you factor in the fact that this year, you know, the season-ending finale is shown us something. The young guys would come for them big time next year. Wouldn't it be a risk for Djokovic to miss such a big tournament like the Aussie Open, where he's always clear favourite heading into every Aussie Open, and his defending champion has won the most titles there?
Oh, he's won 9 of it.
Yeah.
At the moment, I can picture what's going through Djokovic's mind at the moment. He would want to participate in that one, probably get a win, make history, become probably the greatest tennis player of all time. But come on, it's still nagging, it's still a big problem. Absolutely. The way we're looking at it now, it's still a big problem. Probably he might end up being vaccinated. For me, that's the choice. He needs to be vaccinated to be able to participate in the Australian Open. But be that as a man, I would really love to see Djokovic in that.
Well, the man hasn't talked about whether or not he's vaccinated. You know, he's simply just talking about the fact that you know, he hasn't declared or made public his vaccination status. That's the thing.
Well, the indication seems to say he's not vaccinated.
Let's not get too carried away. Now, let's switch tennis and for table tennis. The big story is that ARUNA QUADRI says what happened at the World Table Tennis Championship in Houston, Texas, that should motivate a lot more people going forward. We understand how it's been for them. You know, they inspire each other, the Omar Assas of this world, you know, talking likes of Shegun Teriola. So one person wins, it's not just a win for him or his country, it's a win for the whole of Africa. And that seems to be the marker. It would inspire the next generation. And what ARUNA QUADRI did at the Challenges gone by, though he succumbed to the Swede in the quarterfinal, which is a milestone for any African. He's hoping that will inspire Africans, and particularly Nigerians, going forward as it concerns the ping pong game.
I think the biggest inspiration are for tennis players who are currently playing at the moment. The likes of Omar that you mentioned and the rest of Nigerian players that you talked about. The inspiration is the fact that if QUADRI could play to the quarterfinals, maybe with further hard work, we can also do it.
Absolutely.
It's not out of sight for them. But be that as it may, I'm still not comfortable with the idea that we're celebrating featuring the quarterfinals. I'm still not comfortable with that. I understand it seems like a big thing, but I think there's something we can do with tennis. For me, it's a pointer. It's a pointer, just like we talk in other sports. Typically football, let's say if Africa gets to the semifinals, it sounds like they've won the cup. Other climbs are not doing that way. They're not celebrating qualifications. And right now, I think it's a pointer that something ought to be done about table tennis in Africa.
Like you to live it. They talk about the celebration. You know, we're looking at something. You got to the first round. It's something. You know, let's get back to school. You're always in 5th place. Always in 5th place, and you've been there for quite a while. You're always putting in the hard work, and all of a sudden you're landing in 3rd spot. Wouldn't that be, you know, that occasion be momentous enough for you to celebrate? And now it's a building block. It's a journey. It's a journey. You know, motivational speakers. You're one of them. You always talk about the fact that you must be grateful for the fact that you're not there where you used to be. you're not where you ideally want to be in the future, but you're clearly not where you were. So that's movement, and that's something to celebrate.
I agree with you to some point, especially when you say I'm a motivational speaker.
Oh, you are a motivational
but these
speaker.
days you inspire these things more than I do.
It's ARUNA QUADRI we're talking about.
You do the inspirational talks more than I do these days on air. But all the same, for me, I think it's about the paradigm.
Yeah.
There's something about the paradigm, what you're projecting at.
Yeah.
What your projection determines what you get to. Oh, I'm sounding motivational now again.
Yeah, you are. You see, the thing is coming out. But you can't fight it.
But be that as it may,
yeah,
I feel Africa can do more if we set up the right paradigm. For me, if we get to that paradigm shift, we can do more. Why? Look at table tennis and all sports are basically about developmental processes. Yeah. The guy that beat the Nigerian table tennis player,
ARUNA
QUADRI.
He's 19.
He's 19.
He plays for Sweden.
It speaks a lot about the developmental process.
Yeah, so you see now it goes beyond the person. See, why the person and the persons are celebrating is because despite the inhibition, despite the challenges in society, toe to toe, when we meet our contemporaries who have got better exposed facilities and have got better playing conditions, we've matched up and we've been able to achieve this feat. That's why the individuals are celebrating. So
I agree.
It is self-motivation.
I'm celebrating with them too. Yeah. I'm celebrating with them too. Yeah. Remember when we started the program, we were talking about the group stage. You asked me if ARUNA would get to this further. We're actually looking at getting past the 10th round.
Absolutely.
And it got to the quarterfinals. Fantastic. But for me, it's a pointer that something ought to be done about the sport.
Something is wrong in the country of Africa. We need to put in infrastructure.
I agree with you.
We
have to catch them young.
Absolutely.
You have to catch them young. There's something about playing any game at quite a young age. From 6, it sticks with you. You get better with age. What they're doing, they're just trying with age.
Catch up basically with the rest of the world. That what a lot of people are doing here in the continent of Africa, and of course particularly with Nigeria. You look at Serena Williams and the story we're celebrating. You look at when they started. A
good pointer even in female game in Africa.
Absolutely. Now let's leave there for a bit. Meanwhile, we wish ARUNA QUADRI the very best as he looks to win the maiden 600,000 World Table Tennis Championship, which begins on the 4th. Ending on the 7th of December in Singapore, where he's the sole African listed among the top 20 ranked male players in the world. Now, let's talk about golf. And can you just imagine golf without Tiger Woods?
It's been happening in recent times without Tiger Woods.
I never noticed.
For me, Tiger Woods, a 15 major winner.
Yeah.
The biggest brand you can ever think of
in face of golf.
The face of golf. It's going to be sad if we can't find Tiger Woods on the scene anymore. For me, it's going to be sad. Always a joy to see him play golf, considering the accident he had. Remember, he had a spinal injury at the time. He went through surgery in 2019, still won his 15 major, and that was the biggest comeback one could ever think of. It would be lovely to see Tiger Woods still be around. H is no more his friend at the moment, but be that as a man, somewhere you have to retire. You can't play all your ages. You can't do that. You have to retire. And it would be an honor to see Tiger Woods retire also.
Well, you see, what certainly has the beginning most definitely would have an end. Well, we can't see for sure whether or not this would be an end for the 15-time major champion who had surgery. And of course, when he fractured his lower foot and ankle in that accident. And we understand he hasn't played since December 2020. Well, it might be a loss for the sport. We're talking golf now, but it's a win in life because it would have been a more devastating story if Tiger Woods were to have lost his life in that particular accident. So it's a loss for the sport, but it's a win for life.
I can understand how difficult it is for him after that
on a personal note, because this is the sport that has brought him fame and fortune.
It's usually difficult living what you've done your whole life. He started as a kid playing golf, and he's played golf all his life. It's usually going to be very difficult for him. I think one of the reasons he might not be participating the way he ought to. It's because of the injury sustained during this accident.
And he's not in the best physical condition.
No, he's not. He's not. Listening to Tiger Woods at the time, he said by 2019 he had to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
That he doesn't think he can do that anymore. And if he can't climb Mount Everest, how can he play golf?
That's got to be the massive story. But guys, don't give up on Tiger Woods just yet.
But he's full of surprises.
Yeah, it says he may not return to full golf after that car accident. May not. For me personally, I would hang on to that tiny, very tiny, that thin hope that he may also return. But I'm a hopeful guy.
Just as you called me a motivational guy today, I think it also, I'll go full-blown motivational today. I think also it's usually a good opportunity when you have a big name, a big leader.
Let's leave Tiger Woods for a bit and talk about other stories, but that would be after this very short break. We'll talk about BONFRERE. Yeah. Will he be back with the Super Eagles? It's a massive question. We've got the Ballon d'Or waiting on the fringes for you as well, so you stay right here with us. Many thanks for staying right here with us. Very quick, and that's how quickly things change. And now we're talking football. It's a story of a Franco-German. He's currently the Super Eagles national team coach. But just as quick as the break was, it tells you how quickly things could move, because now the report emerging from former Super Eagles media officer Colin Udo is that Johannes BONFRERE has applied for the Nigeria senior men's national team coaching job. He's 75, has had 2 previous stints with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and now, famously, could be back for a 3rd stint. 3rd time lucky. Will he?
He won't be back. For crying out loud, he's 75.
Yeah.
He won't be back. He has no business on the pitch right now. He should be retiring.
Well, he's not playing.
I know he's coaching, but he needs a rest. He needs that rest. What does he want to do in the Super Eagles at the moment?
He's been resting. He's been resting the entire period. Yeah, he's been resting the entire period. The last time he was here was in 2000, where he led us to the African finals, where we lost in penalties 6-5 to Cameroon. 2000 to 2021, he's been resting for 21 massive years. And now the guy is ready to throw his heart back into the ring.
I think it's just good for the news.
Yeah.
That's all for me. It's just good for the news. BONFRERE, what has BONFRERE Joe been doing since 2000?
He's been monitoring the development here in Nigeria.
I wanted to see BONFRERE Joe in probably another African country coaching. Have not seen that.
Yeah.
I wanted to see BONFRERE Joe coach another I know he loves Nigeria.
See,
he loves Nigeria.
See, that's something very special. He's been honing his skills for 21 massive years. You don't think we'll have a lot to benefit from?
Can you imagine at the age of 75?
No.
What am I doing?
Come on. You motivational speakers talk about the fact that age is just a number. This man has got the experience.
Right, James?
Yeah.
This news just makes me laugh each time I'm hearing.
Oh, look at that man. Just look at the man. Don't you love the man?
Let me give him some credit.
Yeah.
I think he did a great feat with the dream teams of Nigeria, winning the under-23 Olympic gold medal for Nigeria, with the team rather, at the time. Fantastic coach. I think we'll famously remember him for the Nations Cup 2000 hosted in Lagos. Nigeria were beaten by Cameroon on penalties. 2-2 it finished. And penalty, the famous Victor Ikpeba putting his hand on the head after kicking the penalty. There were no VAR at the time, though it was a goal. But that's all we can remember about BONFRERE Joe. Yeah. Coming back 21 years after, he has no business with the Super Eagles at this moment. If we're shopping for a coach, we need to shop for a better coach, not BONFRERE Joe. BONFRERE Joe has been doing nothing for the past 21 years and can't coach the Super Eagles.
Well, did you miss the part where I said he's been honing his skills? and has been preparing for a return.
You can't be honing your skills in the kitchen, my friend.
For 21 years, he's been in the drawing room. We always talk about the drawing board. This man has got a classic drawing board where
there's no motivation.
He's sat there, his
there's
design.
No motivation for BONFRERE Joe
and
the Super Eagles today.
Right. I thought we could have a conversation, but clearly you're not ready to have one
I'm
with
not
me.
ready for this one.
Well, let's leave BONFRERE Joe then, and let's leave the Super Eagles and get to the global stage where it's a little here and there. You talk about controversy. If you're a big fan of it, then last night outcome at the Ballon d'Or for 2021.
MESSI they all.
Definitely.
MESSI they all.
We're not doing this now.
Continue.
Ballon d'Or, before he rudely interrupted. We'll talk about the Ballon d'Or last night where PSG and Argentine for Lionel Messi won it for a record extending 7th time. He's 34. And if you ask him what he did, he helped this country, Argentina, to a Copa America title. And when you look at the fact that it's his first international honor, and in the year under review scored 40 goals, 28 for Barca, 4 for PSG's new club now, and 8 for Argentina. He ended as top scorer in the competition, Blyden. Not good enough for you, but Robert Lewandowski, the Polish striker, and Jorginho Filo, who won the Champions League with Chelsea, and of course also famously won the Euros with the Italian national team, the Azzurri.
This is a sad one for me. It's a sad one for me. Why is it sad? Because it spelled doom for me for this award ceremony.
Really?
Why is it so? It tends to make the effort of other players seem not recognized for me. Look at Lewandowski. He scored over 60 goals. Last season and this season, 2 years, he scored about 111 goals. And who would believe that such a player with such level of performance will not win the Ballon d'Or? Who would believe? And Messi just turned out, scored 40 goals. I know he's had a couple of assists, and he's the Ballon d'Or winner for his record 7th time.
Well, look at your screen, Blyden. Look at Blyden. Look at that screen. The Argentine national team celebrating. That's something that hasn't happened since 1993, and this is the man that made it happen. He masterminded that victory. Not good enough for you.
He was the captain of the team, but you have to recognize other players who really gave that all for them to win that.
He was top scorer.
Especially the likes of Di Maria in the final.
He was top scorer in the competition. Gave the most assists.
I do not doubt Messi's capacity as a player.
Yeah.
For me, he's the most talented footballer I've ever watched.
No, look at that. His friend brought that to him.
He's the most talented footballer I've ever watched. I agree. But on the other hand, I think he's the most privileged footballer. He seems to be getting everything, more or less. I wouldn't want to say on a platter of gold, but everything just seems to go for him.
Has he not worked for it?
No, for me.
He hasn't.
This was Lewandowski's award.
Well, sadly, he paid tribute. He paid tribute to Lewandowski in his speech.
What's the use of a tribute?
You know, he said so sad. Lewandowski couldn't win it in 2020. If the Ballon d'Or held in 2020 undisputedly, Lewandowski would have won that.
You know what I like about a typical African man?
Yeah.
I think a typical African man, if a typical African man was Lewandowski, who rightly deserved his award, probably might have stood up and left that.
Well,
seriously, for me, it was quite dissatisfying.
That's not the way Africans behave. If that's the way some Africans behave, then
maybe.
Thank goodness Lewandowski is not an African, because that would have been quite a show.
It would have been quite a show.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, it's quite disappointing that Lewandowski had to give all that he gave and not be awarded.
So if you think that's injustice by a stretch of the imagination, then talk to us about Gianluigi Donnarumma winning the best goalkeeper at the expense of Edward Mendy.
That's the problem. We begin to ask about the credibility of these awards. Is it a popularity contest? Because for me, the only reason, some people might not like what I would say, but the only reason he won ahead of Mendy is because Mendy is black.
Really?
He's black. He's not that popular. Come on, we know. Deep-rooted in all this.
You're playing the card now.
But it is what it is.
Wow.
How would you imagine that Mendy wouldn't win it after all he's won?
But come on, you've got to give credit to Donnarumma. Was in between his sticks.
I think he was the second best goalkeeper.
The Azzurri won.
I think he was the second best goalkeeper in the world for me.
The second best?
Yes.
After who?
Mendy.
Okay, this guy, well, that made me laugh. So Donnarumma is second to Mendy.
I agree. That's my position on it.
Right. What football club do you support again?
I don't need to support any football. I'm a lover of football.
I just wanted to be clear.
No, I'm a lover of football.
Well, I thought you'd say African United. Would have been
Come on, but let me be fair enough.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Let me drop the pain,
Yeah.
the anger. Congratulations to Leo Messi.
If you're feeling this way, I just can't imagine what Mendy's family members feel like.
But it's a big question. For me, it's a big question about the credibility of this award. It seems to be a popularity contest.
Yeah, but let me finish. The Ballon d'Or has always had controversy. It seems like they thrive on controversy. Remember 2010 when Lionel Messi won that in the World Cup year at the expense of Wesley Sneijder won the Coppa Italia and won the UEFA Champions League, won the Italian Serie, yeah?
And it's always about Lionel Messi.
Okay, sorry I brought my Lionel Messi.
So you see, it's always about Lionel Messi.
Apologies, if you're a Messi fan watching, I brought in Lionel Messi and this guy
look at the
seems
season.
to have slaughtered Messi.
Look at the season.
Yeah.
Let me bring Cristiano Ronaldo to the picture.
Oh, okay.
No one gave him a chance.
Yeah.
But this season, Cristiano Ronaldo scored how many goals? 43 goals.
Yeah.
Messi scored how many? 40. Cristiano Ronaldo's won how many trophies? 2 trophies this season.
Which?
What Italians had?
Which trophy?
He won a cup.
Which cup?
One rather.
Oh,
a cup. Italian cup rather.
He didn't win. They finished. There is a struggle to even finish in the Champions League under Pedro.
He won a cup.
They won a cup.
Yeah, he won a cup.
What? Ronaldo's cup?
Juventus, yeah. He won a cup with Juventus. Don't put me on that spot. He won a cup with Juventus. But being that as a man, we did not give him that chance. Yeah. That's the point. Because he's not had the best of a season collectively as a team. I've seen. I'm going back to the Lewandowski.
Yeah, well, let's drop that. And let's say congratulations to Barca captain, Alexia Putellas, who became rather the first Spanish woman in well over 25 years to be awarded the Ballon d'Or. She won that particular award, beating likes of Sam Kerr of Chelsea and the rest. Well, no debate about this.
No debate about that. Quite deserving. That's how an award should be for me.
Okay.
That's how an award should be for me. No debate about it. Scored 26 goals. Best midfielder we've seen this season. Beat Chelsea 4-0. He masterminded it. Rather, she. And they won 4-0. They went on to win the Champions League. No debates about it. There are questions even about Jorginho not winning it. If you're not giving Lewandowski, why not Jorginho?
Right.
He's a European best player.
We're not going back to that conversation.
No, we won't.
Let's quickly talk about something else. Pedri won the Young Player of the Year, beating Jude Bellingham, and of course PSG stars Mason Greenwood also nominated. Any debate about that?
No debate about that. Fantastic player. Throughout the season, we saw the number of games he played. He was like the biggest young star we could ever picture throughout the season. Good footballer. Sadly, he's not been playing for Barca in recent times because of injury, but everybody knows the talent of Pedri, and he's been absolutely fantastic. No debates. No,
just on the sidelines, you saw Didier Drogba on hosting duties. How do you assess Didier Drogba on the night?
Fantastic. This is the thing about being African. When I see Didier Drogba, I feel excited being African. Why? Because I've watched previous Ballon d'Or ceremonies, the way it's being hosted. But there's this African flavor he brings to it. The jokes, the excitement, making it a bit casual, but with intense. And that's beautiful. For me, I think Drogba is quite an inspiration to young Africans who are hoping to do even more from a sporting perspective and from being masters of ceremonies.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to the FIFA Best Awards, and we're looking forward to it with very keen interest from the African perspective. Mohamed Salah finished 7th in the voting, but should have a better standing and should have a better reckoning with regards to the FIFA Best Award, right?
I agree with that. I agree. I think he might finish third. He won't likely win the FIFA Best Player of the Year. So, well, he might finish maybe third.
Not good enough to finish second or first?
I think it would be for Lewandowski. It would be for Lewandowski. Looking at a season stretch, 2020-2021 season.
Yeah, if Ballon d'Or didn't look at Lewandowski, you think, well, he got something on the night. He got the best forward. That's compensation.
Well, compensation.
Forward of the year.
What was that for?
Yeah, well.
When I saw that, my question was, what's this for?
Best striker.
He already showed they're giving it to Messi. What's that for? Just say, oh, don't feel bad, brother. Let's just give you best striker. That's what it did. If he's this is a question about awards. If he's the best striker in the world, and Messi is more or less like a striker to an attacking player, and you say I'm the best, so why give the award to this other person?
There was the Globe Soccer Award, and you won that. And won the best player. There was no debate.
Well, Lewandowski for me is the current FIFA World Footballer of the Year, and I think he'll win it a second time.
All right, now the conversation we'll be having going forward is Lionel Messi. He's won it, record extending 7th time. Will this be his last, Blyden?
I don't know. It's becoming a Messi deal, so I don't know. Remember the saga that took place. Ronaldo coming out to say, I think one of the leaders pertaining to this award said Ronaldo's dream is all about beating Messi to win more Ballon d'Or. And Ronaldo's come out to deny that and said, can you imagine that's the outcome of the award? They're giving him indirectly, Ronaldo saying, they're giving it to Messi so he can win more. He's not interested, he's interested in Manchester. But we all know Ronaldo lost winning, and Ronaldo is interested in Ballon d'Or.
Well, we look forward to the FIFA Best Awards. Well, congratulations, meanwhile. That would be in order for all of the winners and those nominated in the first place. You're all winners in your own right, and of course you deserve every bit of the plaudit you're getting now, as always. Let's leave the Ballon d'Or, but let's stay in Paris. Neymar the Santos Jr. recently has been in and out of the physio room, and the latest is that he's hurt his ligament tendon. That rules him out of between 4 to 8 weeks. So we're talking 2 months out of action. How did you receive that particular news?
Well, sad, especially when I looked at the injury, the way the injury came. It seemed like he twisted his ankle quite badly. More like what we saw of the Everton player at the time.
Yeah, Andre Gomes.
Andre Gomes at the time. It looked quite serious, but I'm glad he'll be back within 8 weeks, not quite a long time. But I think players like Neymar could have been, he's a great player for me. He's achieved so much. Highest goal scorer for Brazil, and that's a fit. Sadly, he's not been able to win the World Cup to be among the elites of Brazilians. It seemed like the only currency of being an elite footballer in Brazil is winning the World Cup for your generation, but he's not been able to do that. And sadly, players like Neymar, I think he could have changed his style of play. It would have helped him probably become a winner of a Ballon d'Or in his career, but sadly, it's not going to happen. He's in his late 20s at the moment.
28, 29 now.
And I think he's gotten stuck to his playing style.
And now, the other conversation would be, this is one that was tipped to be a future Ballon d'Or winner, a future FIFA Best Player of the Year. You think Neymar, with the way things are going for him, his dwindling fortunes with regards to form and fitness, he's lost that chance?
I think so. I think he's lost that chance. Age is no more on the side at the moment. I think he should be around 28, 29 at this point. So, and look at the competition coming from the younger lads, Mbappe, Kylian Mbappe, and Haaland. They just want to get Lewandowski and the likes of Messi off the scene so they start winning it. I can picture what's going on with Haaland now. He's angry not being there. He loves winning. I like his mentality. But for Neymar, I don't think he has a chance.
Now, let's talk about what this injury means for PSG's football club.
They have a couple of players who step in to play for them. Right now, I think one of the biggest problems of Paris Saint-Germain is the fact that they have all these attackers playing at the same time. And you can defend with just 7 players.
And again, you think playing without a point man, an out-and-out striker, you think it's been one of the problems they've had this particular season?
I think it could be a problem. Why? Because this is how football is structured. Your opponent starts play from their own back. So you need an attacker who moves around trying to challenge for those plays.
The pockets
so it becomes a problem when you're not having a point striker. But it's not totally a problem when you have some talented players. And all you need to do is have a strong midfield, and these talented players can do the bit up front and win. But the biggest problem in Paris Saint-Germain is oftentimes they have up to 4 talented players who are not going to also help in the marking for the midfield, and it becomes the biggest problem. And you can drop any of them for the coach, and that's the biggest problem for Pochettino.
Well, it's a bit of a problem rather for Pochettino right about now. Finding that balance in the team hasn't really galvanized and play the best of football. When you look at the quality available at his disposal, there are lots of questions, and when you consider that Manchester United link in the summer, it could be a massive problem. But hey, they've got a homeboy they're in contact with, just in case Poch decides to ditch PSG for Manchester United. And talk about Manchester United as we wrap up the conversation now. The man is in finally. Ralf Rangnick has been appointed interim coach until the end of the season, and he would be on a consultancy basis for the next 2 years. But the story is that if he doesn't get his work permit sorted out, then Michael Carrick would take charge of Manchester United's game on Thursday against Arsenal.
Well, it would be good to see Carrick play against Arsenal. I think that's a massive game. I wouldn't want Rangnick to be in charge for me.
Why so?
Because of the history that comes with that particular game. Manchester United, Arsenal. There are a lot of bragging rights, and you need someone who understands the situation on ground to be the coach. And I think Carrick would be the best fit at the moment. We'll be welcoming Rangnick quite soon to see him take charge of Manchester United team. He's an attacking warlord. He loves to see the team play high praise attacking football. We want to see how that works with Manchester United, especially having these big players around, and you wonder how you're going to toss them around to do what you want, just running around and attacking. But be that as
the biggest name there is the whole concern is about Ronaldo. Basically, you know, that pressing game, Ronaldo doesn't do that kind of thing.
And he's 36.
Yeah, when you look at the fact that, you know, he's chasing 40 as we speak, can't really do that. And, you know, a lot of people talk about who would need to make the adjustment. Will it be Ralf Rangnick tweaking the system to fit Ronaldo, or will it be Ronaldo adjusting to fit into Ralph's
you don't
system?
have a choice. You don't have a choice. The coach has to make some adjustment in the playing style. Because, look, the beautiful thing about Ronaldo is whether he's running around or not, he's going to notch in the goal. And that's the fantastic thing about him. You know, if I were a coach, Ronaldo would be one of the least of my worries. Why? Because all I need to do is put the guy there, he gives me a goal.
So what happens when you don't get the ball? Because, you know, it looks like Ronaldo then, according to what you're saying, is more efficient these days when the team has the ball. With the ball, he's more efficient, right? So what happens without the ball?
And you have other 9 players on the field of play
so when,
pass the ball around and move around. Ronaldo has fantastic touches. He doesn't. You don't need Ronaldo to run up, back. He's not a kid. But the truth is, football is about scoring goals. If he gets a chance, he's going to notch in the goal. So what else do you want? Play the rest around him. Let him do the running about. Find a way to get him in the box, and he scores the goals. And you consolidate on that and win your game.
It's going to be an evolving conversation. Cristiano Ronaldo, his role in the Ralf Rangnick system, is a big fan of the gang pressing. We understand. And of course, we'll see how that plays out. But welcome, Ralf. And of course, we look forward to the journey. We hope it's fruitful for you. And many United fans are hoping that this would be a relationship made in heaven, and it should be fruitful as well. And they should be dreaming as well. We've got the Premier League, just 13 games in a good place in the UEFA Champions League. Well, it should be ambitious still.
I agree. They ought to be ambitious. They have quality players on the side. But the thing is, I'm expecting a slow start for Manchester United. Bringing a new system. I'm expecting a slow start, but I think they'll get to adjust. But is the mentality in Manchester United strong enough to pick up these wins and these trophies? Well,